Hey, thanks for joining me. I figured I might as well just finish up this Shattershot. Again, I've only got parts 3 and 4. I just got done reviewing part 3, where I was just loving on Joe Quesada's artwork. The artwork in this is good, but it's not on the level of Joe Quesada. But there is a reason why I got it, and it's fun, and I figure I might as well talk about it. Why not? I was talking about how Shatterstar he was one of my favorite characters in terms of he's a new guy and he's kind of unknown, and there was a lot of potential. I don't know if it was ever reached, but I liked him. And so they did these annuals. It's a crossover between Shatterstar and Longshot and his history. I don't know. As I was saying in part 3, I do not like anything with the Mojo verse, Spiral, Longshot. None of that stuff interests me, not even in a little bit. But you put out a book. X-Force was awesome. I was all in on these things in this era. This is 1992. I was picking them up. It was about Shatterstar. I figure I'd get it. Penciler is Greg Capullo. So I believe this is after, because right now I've been right in the middle of reviewing the Executioner's Song, and Greg Capullo's been on like 2 issues of that book, and his work has been spectacular. And I'm pretty sure it's the same inker too, this Harry Candelario. Don't know who that is. But I also think that this book comes after the end of the Executioner's Song and after a couple issues of X-Force, because X-Force gives themselves a costume revamp, and Shatterstar ends up wearing this version of his outfit, which is similar but not the same as the original Liefeld design, which I'm on record as saying, as ridiculous as Shatterstar's outfit is, excuse me, I like the original design. I think it works. And this is more of just like color variation, and the mask is more of a hard, rigid thing rather than a soft football helmet looking thing. I don't know. But we're here for Greg Capullo's artwork. Now, again, like I was talking with the previous issue where Joe Quesada did it, I was just blown away by that work. And I was into Capullo's work at this time, but it's obviously fantastic, but it's not my favorite. As I was saying recently about Capullo's work on the Executioner's Song, all his drawings are great, his compositions are great, the body language is great. It's just his rendering of the characters somehow. He hadn't quite refined himself to become the incredible artist that he would be in just short order. But I mean, there's a lot of detail in that page, but it's Mojo World stuff. Do not care. I've never liked Mojo, but Quesada's version of Mojo looked great. This is kind of a boring version of it, so not caring about any of this. But artistically, the details are all there. Vicious Warriors, giant arena. I like this shot of this guy, you know, holding down this, I guess is some mock-up of Mojo, whatever. I've talked about Capullo's body language, and the characterization he puts in the drawings in the body language is like his greatest strength at this point. And I dig it. And here we got Shatterstar. And I like that Capullo gave him this stupid little round little whatever the fuck it is that Liefeld would put on Shatterstar. This thing. I guess he's put a handle on it. It's like maybe it's a dagger. Like, no one knows what it is because it never was used. I don't know. And again, I don't mind this design of Shatterstar's outfit, but it's not as good as the original. Like, where did Shatterstar's cape ever clasp onto his outfit? It was never clear. So I think Capullo's like, I need to have some kind of like anchor for the cape to hang on to. They put some kind of design, you know, on his outfit there. I don't really care for it. Changed the color trim on the outfit, changed his mask design. Not my favorite. But it doesn't look bad. It's just a redesign, but it's Shatterstar. Great details on these background scenes, the technological stuff. So it's just, especially after looking at the previous issue done by Capullo, this stuff is all fine, but it's just such a step down for me. It's not quite as good. But again, Capullo will, in very quick succession, become one of the premier artists. Like, after he gets done with X-Force, McFarlane scoops him up and puts him on Spawn for years. I don't know how many issues he did. Like, it felt like forever. Like, years and years. And then, I'm not sure what the timeline of what Capullo did when he left Spawn. I don't know if he came back and worked for Marvel. I know eventually he did some career-defining work with Batman at DC, and now he's doing a new book, Wolverine something or other. I haven't had a chance to pick it up, but I can't wait. But again, this is all good, fine stuff, but compared to the Joe Quesada stuff, I'm not having as much fun with it. And because I don't care about this Mojo World shit, don't care. I'm actually kind of shocked at how much I'm like, not digging it. They're talking about when God damn it, Longshot showed up. He joined when Longshot next appeared on Your World. It was after one of his many failed rebellion uprisings. His memory shattered. He joined the legendary X-Men band during one of their more tumultuous periods. This is like the Australian Outback era, which, you know, I had started picking up reading X-Men when this was just kind of getting done. It was still happening, but it was at the tail end of it. So I think the X-Mansion had been blown up, and the original X-Men team, the original 5 were off being X-Factor. And so the X-Men were going through a hell of a time, and this British chick, Psylocke, was in charge. I think she was in charge. I mean, you'd think it would be Storm. I don't know. But it was an interesting time, and that's when Longshot showed up. But again, I never got to read those. I don't have them. I'm trying to collect up some of them, but don't have it. But these shots, I mean, again, like when you have Mojo right there looking like that, and then you had shots of Mojo looking like this, the beady eyes, the heavy shadows, the creepy look, the snot and the goo, and the textures on his skin and his face. This is just, I know I'm just repeating myself multiple times. I hate Mojo. I don't like anything about him, but Quesada did a version of him that I actually liked. I guess there's no more of him in here. So this stuff is like, it's not the same. It's not as good. He does a really good version. He does really good technological stuff. Capullo does. His storytelling's always there. This looks like a pain in the ass story to draw. This otherworld Mojo-verse shit. These big arenas, these fights in this Coliseum, like gladiatorial type stuff, but it's all for like TV ratings and shit. I don't care. It's kind of unfortunate, but I don't know that this Shattershot annual 4-issue series was ever a big deal. I don't think anyone ever looks back on this with like, oh my God, that was my favorite crossover ever. And, you know, Capullo's work on X-Force, I feel was maybe a little better than this. And again, maybe it's just the story that I'm not interested in, but it's not as interesting. I do find this shot interesting where Capullo's doing, you know, the kind of classic Rob Liefeld type, big screamy face shot, jumping through the air, angry, energetic, you know. It's all technically the same, but Liefeld's always looked better. There's one where Warpath is throwing Shatterstar at Juggernaut. That's almost the exact same pose, same concept. And Liefeld's not a fraction of the artist that Capullo is, but Liefeld's looked better, which is why Liefeld was popular. He had a thing, an it factor that worked in certain ways, in certain areas, and he just kind of tapped into that, and it worked. Just more fighting. They're wrapping up everything, so it's got to be a big conflict. I like these 4 kind of panels of Shatterstar fighting whoever the hell. Don't know, don't care. Super don't care. I mean, even this is kind of weak. I wonder if he was kind of banging these out relatively fast just to get through it. I don't know. Don't care. Thank God it's over. It sucks. We got just a random pinup. A Mutant Masterwork by Greg Capullo and Al Milgrom. There's the classic kind of X-Force characters. Yeah. Got him in that robotic spacesuit armor thing that they used when they did that crossover with Spider-Man. So, you know, that's kind of fine. What else is going on in here? Story of Artie and Leach. Boy, I could not care less. Gavin Curtis, story and pencils. No idea who that is. Dan Panosian on inks. Definitely know who that is. Somebody goofed up here because this kid's supposed to have like a lightsaber because he's fighting these little technological versions of TIE fighters. But look, you can see the slight yellowish where the beam is, but somehow in the production, the laser part of it didn't get colored in. It's there, but somebody goofed up there. Whatever. I am not going to read a story about Artie and Leach. Never, for any reason, because I'm just better than that, I guess. Yeah, I don't know about any of this stuff. I don't know who any of these people are. Not interested then, not interested now. A Mutant Masterwork. There was a couple of these. There was one of Havoc and Polaris. No, it was Quicksilver, and then Strong Guy by Sinkovich. This one of Rain might be the best by far. The mood of this shot, the moon, the sky, these monster creatures, whatever the hell. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if Sinkovich knew what was going on. I bet he was just drawing something. And that is badass. I would love to see the original on this. That looks amazing. So now we get this final story back over here. X-Force Villains Gallery, written by Dan Slott, penciler by Sandu Florea, inker Brad Van Cotta. I sort of know the name on that inker. But basically, it's a scene where, you know, this person, whoever this artist is, Sandu Florea, I don't know who that is, trying to pull off the best approximation of that Liefeld design. Kind of functioning, but kind of not. But he's gets the team together, and he's asking them, like, well, know your enemies. So it's basically like the enemies of X-Force. So who do we got? The Morlocks, Kane, and then so Cable is saying, okay, everyone, tell me who they are and what you know about them. So he's like, Cannonball, who's this guy? He's like, Kane, Weapon X, he can do this, he can do that. Black Tom Cassidy and Juggernaut. It's basically like going through the list of characters that we've all ran into. So, you know, taking back through the era of X-Force number 1, number 2, number 3, you know, just that whole line of issues from the Liefeld stuff, essentially. Juggernaut and Black Tom, Bridge, Deadpool and Tolliver, the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, Sauron, Blob, Pyro, Fantasia, and their leader, Toad. And then Roberto da Costa, Sunspot, and Gideon. They're like, wait, hold it right there. Bobby's my best friend in the whole world. He was one of us. You're like, you can't tell me that Sunspot's one of our enemies. But, you know, Cable, he's like, he's not with us. He's with one of our enemies. He's not on our side. And by the way, Shatterstar, who's this? And Shatterstar's like, oh my God, that's Proteus. He has one weakness, metal. So I'm like, that's weird to bring up Proteus. I don't know if they, you know, if they ever brought him back from that old classic X-Men stuff. I've never seen it. I don't know. Domino, who's this? Like, oh, that's Strife. He sucks and we should kick his ass. And Cable says, all right, great, team. I will tell you who is the greatest threat to us. It's the X-Men. Without a doubt, the most powerful mutant strike force currently in operation. Their method and ideologies directly conflict with our own agendas. A clash with them is inevitable. Hence, the Executioner's song. And the team is pissed off. They're like, man, fuck Cable. Like, the X-Men, that's our family. And they're pissed off. So, Domino's pissed and tells everyone to get the fuck out of the room. And everyone's pissed off. Like, you know, yeah, we're not wanted. We don't think the X-Men's our enemies. Cable says, don't undermine my authority, Domino. And she's like, don't worry, Nate. You were doing a good job of doing that on your own. What kind of lame stunt was that supposed to be? Cable says, I have to make sure they're mine, that they're here in this for the long haul. Domino says, can't they follow your lead and Xavier's dream at the same time? And Cable says, no, because there's a world of difference between dreaming a dream and winning a war. And so again, this art is trying to pull off the Liefeld thing. So, you know, I get it. This is Cable trying to be like, there's horrible things coming, and I got to prepare these kids for the inevitable difficulties they're going to have to deal with. And the X-Men are probably the most direct big obstacle. It's a valid kind of assumption. Mutant Masterworks. This one by Tom Rainey. I never particularly cared for it. I like Tom Rainey now. When he started doing Stormwatch stuff with Warren Ellis, holy shit was I on board. But in this era, he drew some weird rubbery bodies. The only thing I really like about this shot is he did something that only Liefeld was ever able to pull off, as hard as it is to think, is he made Farrell look attractive. She's kind of hot in a weird kind of animalistic furry lady way. Liefeld made her look hot sometimes, and no one else really did. I also have really liked this shot of X-Force drawn by Adam Kubert, and I always dug, again, that shot of Shatterstar. The angle, the way his legs are posed, I don't know why. I always thought that was one of the coolest shots of Shatterstar I've ever seen. I thought this shot of Domino shooting was awesome, Cannonball flying around here. All really good stuff, and that's the end of it. So, you know, not much to say. Shatterstar, or rather Shattershot Part 4. Again, if I have Parts 1 and 2, I don't remember. I'm not looking for them because I don't give a shit. I was collecting all kinds of stuff, and I was into these characters, so I picked them up. Don't care about any of the stories, but artistically, especially in this one, it's the best. But, you know, anything Greg Capullo does is always worth a look. You know, he deserves that respect. So, Shattershot Part 4, you know, whoop-de-doo, no big deal. Not very exciting, but it is what it is. So, hence a, you know, 17-minute video. So, it's done, quick and out. So, thanks for joining me. I appreciate it. I'll see you next time.